if you are familiar with the X-Men animated series that's now streaming on Disney Plus, then of course you will know the two people that are my guests today. It is, of course, Eric and Julia Lewald.
It was officially February 1992 when Eric got tapped to come in for a meeting that was to be the development of X-Men the animated
The phone
series.
call actually was February 16th, the night of February 16th, 1992.
That's
exactly 30 years ago right now.
No way.
Writer Jim Krieg crafted the last episode of the series, Graduation Day.
Mhm.
And not many series can stick their landings. But I do believe, and believe me, season 5 was a disaster in terms of budget was slashed. Animation was, oh my God, it was the worst of all worlds. But storytelling wise, there are still some just really great stories in that season. And watching that episode as the finale for the series, I got to give all the credit to that for wrapping up the series in a way that it just feels good.
Watching it back in the 90s when I watched it originally, I didn't notice the change in animation and stuff because it was just X-Men to me, as a kid, as a younger person. I was just pleased to have them on the screen, but watching that episode back as an adult, I didn't realize how deep it was and how kind of well written it really was, and how it really does, like you say, just kind of puts that final point in the story and comfortably concludes it. You were kind of left there wanting to see them again, the way they all stood there looking out into the sunset. And who knows, 30 years later they might revisit it, so but we'll talk about that later on.
Let you know that yes, we're thrilled to hear that they're doing that Marvel's doing a new version of the animated show and a continuation of our show that's going to be coming out next year. And they were nice enough to ask us on as consulting producers,
along with Larry Houston.
Along with the head art guy from our show, Larry Houston. And it's just been thrilled because when we met the folks that are doing the show, it's like 60 people, aged 25 to 35,
all in a Zoom room.
All of them had stacks of X-Men toys all around them. And
I wasn't on that call, just for clarification. I might have fit the bill, but I wasn't on that call.
But just seeing the enthusiasm and of the new generation of people coming up and taking the baton for the next run and see what they do. And the fact that instead of just, we're just going to do some sort of X-Men animated show, or we're going to do something very different, that's our own, that's just, it's nothing to do with what's done before. They're so respectful and so emotionally connected to the first show, to our show, that it is very much, they told us, look, this is not something different. We are going to have our own stories and our own themes and our own focuses, but this is a continuation of what we did, of the 76 episodes we did back then.
The way that final, the graduation day episode ends, and obviously we see Professor X, go off, and he goes off with the Shi'ar and stuff. Is he going to come back? Who knows? No, I'm only joking. But he's gone off, and Magneto stood there with the X-Men. It's kind of like, and you've seen this villain that's kind of had this real journey and this kind of full circle, and then he's stood shoulder to shoulder with the heroes at the end. It was just beautifully written, and just I think it stands the test of time, because as a child you could watch it and enjoy it and become invested in it, but as an adult you can still watch it and invested. And I think what's so, for me personally, what's so brilliant about the 97 reveal is, as I mentioned earlier, I've watched this with my son. I've watched the X-Men animated series with my son, mainly as an excuse to rewatch it myself to start with. But it was kind of a case of, I'm sitting down to watch this, you're into your X-Men, you need to watch this. This was my Bible as a kid. And we sat down, and then when that was announced, there's going to be another series. And I was like, there's going to be another series. So to have that kind of, for us to both be excited about something new from a place of enjoying it as something old and something new, it was just very poetic. So I think that's why there's so much hype about it. And I think if they continue with what you guys, the foundation that you guys set, they can't go wrong. I really don't think. And I think the fact that they've got you guys and Larry Houston on board as well is a real positive sign. And I think I speak for most of the fandom when we say that we're all very, very excited to see where it comes. If you need any British speaking characters in then just, you know, you've got my number. So just, you know, if there's a line, just give me a call.